Cold Hands. One of the most startling TV exclusions has to be Cold Hands, a character that appears to be a benevolent White Walker that helps Bran and company find the children of the forest. And that talking tree dude, who, as we know from Targaryen genealogy #1, is Bloodraven. Readers first encountered Cold Hands in a storm of swords. The mysterious White helped Samwell and Gilly escape the more familiar evil versions of the White Walkers. He calls Samwell brother, because many ASOIAF readers to believe that Cold Hands was a former member of the Night's Watch, returned from the dead. After he helps Sam, Cold Hands becomes Bran's protector. There's a ton and a half of theories regarding Cold Hands' identity. The most popular one postulates that Cold Hands is the long-missing Benjen Stark. Other theories even suggest that this mysterious White could be Ned Stark himself. But the fact that Cold Hands has a head seems to dismiss that idea. Whatever the case, television fans just haven't been privy to the mysterious mystery that is Cold Hands. Cold Hands is a mysterious figure from Young Wall. Cold Hands is a name given to him by Samwell Tarly. His actual name is unknown. In appearance, Cold Hands is dressed in the mottled black and grays of the Night's Watch, with a black wool scarf concealing his pale face. He is armored in oiled leather and ringmail, and he wields a sword. His ungloved hands are black and cold as ice. He rides a great elk. A flock of ravens flies under his command and brings him information. Then and gone, he speaks with a rattling voice and does not breathe. Summer does not like the way Cold Hands smells. Though Cold Hands is often described as dead, his eyes are described as black, in contrast to the light blue and whites. In recent events, a storm of swords, Cold Hands saves Samwell Tarly, Gilly, and her son when they are beset by whites and Waitry, lost in the haunted forest after fleeing Craster's Keep, risking Sam as brother. He takes the two under his protection and brings them to the Black Gate of the Night Court, located underneath the wall. Cold Hands cannot pass through himself due to the wall's magic, but he turns Sam and Gilly with bringing Bran Stark and his commands to the Black Gate. Sam continues on to Castle Black, entrusted to secrecy by Cold Hands. A Dance with Dragons. Cold Hands guides Bran, Hodor, Mira, and Jojen Reed to the last green seer north of the wall. Along the way, he departs to deal with foes behind them, sending his charge onto a lakeside village. Bran, having slipped into his direwolf summer as a ward, discovers Cold Hands and his ravens had killed 5 men of the Night's Watch. Unknown to Bran is that they were the surviving traitors responsible for the mutiny of Craster's Keep, such as Lolo Whopping. Cold Hands arrives at the village with a sow, which Mira roasts. Bran and his friends discover that Cold Hands is indeed dead, but he continues to refuse to show his face. His great elk collapses along their journey. Cold Hands whispers a blessing in an unknown language and slits the animal's throat. He and Mira butcher the carcass for food. Cold Hands leads Bran and his companions to the cave of the three-eyed crow, his flock of ravens dwindling during the journey. Cold Hands cannot enter the cave, but he fights off whites as Bran and his friends climb to the cave entrances. Quotes the Cold Hands. The world believes the void is dead. Let his bones lie undisturbed. We want no seekers coming after us. Swear it, Samuel of the Night's Watch. Swear it for the life of you owe me. Cold Hands, Samuel Tarly. Bran says to Cold Hands, what happened to the men? The foes behind us? Cold Hands responds, they will not trouble you. Bran then says, who were they? Wildlings? Cold Hands says, they were foes. Bran responds, you killed them, you and the ravens. Their faces were all torn, and their eyes were gone. They were your brothers. I saw. The wolves had ripped their clothes up, but I could still tell. Their cloaks were black, like your hands. Who are you? Why are your hands black? Cold Hand responds, once the heart has ceased to beat, a man's blood runs down into his extremities, where it thickens and congeals. His hands and feet swell up and turn as black as pudding. The rest of him becomes as white as milk. Bran Stark and Cold Hands. Quotes about Cold Hands. Jojen says to Gilly, this, Cold Hands? Gilly then says, that wasn't his true name. We only call him that, Sam, and me. His hands were cold as ice, but he saved us from the dead men, him and his ravens, and he brought us here on his elk, Jojen Reed and Gilly. The direwolf did not like the way the Cold Hand smelled. Dead meat, dry blood, a faint whiff of rot, and cold over all, thoughts of Bran Stark. I don't like him. I don't trust him. Those hands of his are bad enough. He hides his face and will not speak a name. Who is he? What is he? Anyone could put on a black cloak. Anyone or anything. He does not eat, never drinks. He does not seem to feel the cold. We are a reed to Bran Stark. Bran says to Leaf, the ranger. Leaf then says, he cannot come. Bran says, they'll kill him. Leaf, no, they killed him long ago. Bran Stark and Leaf. left and right. Erryk and Arryk, or left and right, are the loyal bodyguard to Lady Olenah Tyrell, the Queen of Thorns. They are heavily armed brutes that are fiercely loyal to their lady. On the other hand, the Queen of Thorns can't be bothered to remember her guards' names, so she just refers to them as left and right. These two warriors are a reminder just how dangerous Lady Olenah could be despite her advanced age. If you mess with this rose, Lady Olenah has two giant pricks to make sure you bleed. On TV, the Queen of Thorns does her own pricking. Sir Erryk Cargyle was a knight of House Cargyle. He was a member of the King's Guard during the reign of King Viserys I Targaryen. In history, Erryk was the twin brother of Sir Erryk Cargyle, who was also a member of the King's Guard. Erryk and his brother Arryk were both unhorsed by Sir Criston Cole as the tourney for King Viserys I Ascension at Maidenpool in 105 AC. In 120 AC, King Viserys I Targaryen made Erryk the sworn shield of Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, replacing Sir Harwin Strong. After the death of Viserys, Erryk joined Sir Stephen Darkland and Sir Laurent Marbrand in siding with the Blacks and joined the Queen's Guard of Rhaenyra instead of supporting King Aegon II Targaryen. Sir Criston, the Lord Commander of Aegon II's King's Guard, tasked Arryk with infiltrating Dragonstone in the guise of his twin, Erryk. It is uncertain whether he was to kill Rhaenyra or her children. The twins came upon each other in one of the hallways of the castle's citadel and fought to the death, however. According to songs, the brothers professed their love and died in one another's arms after fighting for an hour. Mushroom, the court jester fool, however, claims they called each other a traitor and were both mortally wounded within moments. Erryk is a guardsman for Olenah Redwood. Here's what it's all about. He is 7 feet tall, with broad shoulders and a narrow waist, well muscled. He has a strong jaw, blue eyes, and a thick red mustache. He is the twin to Arryk, and when they are together, they are practically indistinguishable. Olenah cannot tell them apart, so she calls them left and right. As a side note, for them to be Lady Olenah's bodyguards, and if they're true, did kill each other during the Dance of the Dragons. After meeting in the Hall of Dragonstone, while Arryk was seeking to kill Queen Rhaenyra of Viserys I, then it would have been a rent priest or priestess that rose them both from the dead. In recent events, a storm of swords. Erryk and his brother escort Lady Olenah to King's Landing for the wedding of her granddaughter, Margaery Tyrell. Sir Erryk Cargyle was a knight of House Cargyle. He was a member of the King's Guard during the reign of King Viserys I Targaryen. In history, Arryk was the twin brother of Sir Erryk Cargyle, who was also a member of the King's Guard. Arryk and his brother Erryk were both unhorsed by Sir Criston Cole as the tourney of King Viserys I Ascension of Maidenpool in 105 AC. According to Septim Eustace, Sir Arryk found Prince Daemon Targaryen and Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen in bed together some half a year after the tourney to celebrate King Viserys and Queen Alicent's 5th year anniversary in 111 AC. Court Jester Mushroom disagrees with this tale. After the death of Viserys, Arryk sided with King Aegon II Targaryen and the Greens. After the coronation of Aegon in the Dragon Pen, Arryk led the king into the throne room of the Red Keep. His twin Erryk, however, aligned himself with Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen and the Blacks. Arryk and Sir Gawain Hightower were in the retinue of Grand Maester Orwyld. and he traveled from King's Landing to Dragonstone in an unsuccessful attempt to reconcile the rival Targaryens. Arryk's Lord Commander, Sir Creston, ordered him to infiltrate Dragonstone as Erryk, although it is disputed whether his mission was to kill Rhaenyra or her children. The twins came upon each other in one of the hallways of the castle's citadel and fought to the death, however. According to songs, the brothers professed their love and died in one another's arms after fighting for an hour. The court jester fool, Mushroom, however, claims they called each other traitor and were both mortally wounded within moments. Arryk is a guardsman for Olenah Redwine. Once again, in order for them to actually be the bodyguards for Olenah Redwine, a red priestess or red priest would have had to risen them from the dead. This is what it's about. He is 7 feet tall, with broad shoulders and a narrow waist, much like his brother Erryk. Well muscled, he has a strong jaw, blue eyes, and a thick red mustache. He is the twin to Erryk, and when they are together, they are practically indistinguishable. Olenah cannot tell them apart, so she calls them left and right. Recent events: a storm of swords. Arryk and his brother escort Lady Olenah to King's Landing for the wedding of her granddaughter, Margaery Tyrell. Jeyene Westerling. Jeyene Westerling has never appeared on TV, nor will she, because her part in the drama that of Robb Stark's wife was usurped by Talisa Maker. Unlike poor Talisa, Jeyene does not attend the Red Wedding and is still alive deep into the books. While Beanoff and Weiss gave Talisa a fascinating backstory and a memorable character arc, Jeyene was kind of just a plot point, the reason that Robb does not marry one of Walter Frey's daughters. Robb meets Jeyene after he suffers a minor wound during a battle and takes refuge in her family's small castle. The Westerlings are Lannister bannermen, so Robb basically takes them hostage. Jeyene is kind to the king in the north and takes deep pity on him when he finds out that Theon Greyjoy killed his brothers and ran away in Winterfell. Jeyene is devoted and a simple woman who loves Robb unconditionally, but is overwhelmed by the conflict around her. When Robb died, Jeyene went into a deep mourning and is ordered by the Lannisters not to marry for 2 years, lest people think she produced an heir with the fallen boy king. It's hard to imagine the Red Wedding being worse than it was in the books, but slaughtering a pregnant Talisa, poor Ned Jr., to kick off the carnage was a much more brutal fate than that suffered by Robb Stark's literary wife. Jeyene Westerling is the oldest daughter of Lord Gawain Westerling and Lady Sybil Spicer. In the television adaptation Game of Thrones, her character is replaced by Talisa Maker of Volantis, played by Una Chaplin. In appearance, Jeyene is a shy, pretty girl, though according to Jaime Lannister, not a beauty to lose a kingdom for. She is slender of posture. Jeyene has chestnut curls, a heart-shaped face, and brown eyes. In history, House Westerling is an old house that descends from the first men. Although noble and old, the family is not rich, their gold mines having failed. Presumably to better his finances, Lord Gawain Westerling weds Sybil Spicer, the daughter of an ennobled family that descended from merchants. Because of the low standing of Jeyne's mother, she was rejected as a match for one of Sir Kevin Lannister's sons. Recent events: A Game of Thrones. Robb Stark, the young wolf, agrees to marry a daughter of Lord Walder Frey as part of the alliance between House Stark and Frey. Jeyne's father, Lord Gawain Westerling, is captured by Robb's army, captures during the battle in the Whispering Wood held at Seaguard. A Clash of Kings. While at Harrenhal, Robb's incognito sister, Arya, learns from Elmar Frey that his house has been dishonored. A Storm of Swords. During the Westerlands expedition of Robb, now the king in the north, his army storms the crag, the ancestral keep of House Westerling. Since Robb is wounded by an arrow, Jeyne's mother, Sybil, and uncle, Sir Ralph Spicer, encourage the girl to nurse the young wolf. While recuperating at the crag, Robb receives a message that his younger brothers, Bran and Rickon, have been killed by his former friend, Theon Greyjoy, who captured Winterfell. Jeyene comforts Robb in his grief, and they sleep together. To protect her honor, he marries her the next day, but the marriage leads directly to the breakup of Robb's alliance with Lord Walder. The outraged Freys take their forces at the crag and Riverrun back to the twins, although a part of their strength remains with Lord Roose Bolton at Harrenhal. Black Walder Frey threatens to kill Jeyene so that a widower, Robb, could then marry a Frey. But Jeyene begs her husband to be merciful, and Black Walder is spared. The couple are devoted to each other and try to conceive, with Sybil giving her daughter Morning possets to help with fertility. Jeyene tries hard to be good, a good wife for Robb, although she is worried about the pressure he is under as king. On the advice of Robb's mother, Lady Stark, Jeyene tries to be patient and understanding. Robb, for his part, is able to smile temporarily without worries when he is in her company. Jeyene is anxious around Grey Wind, since Robb's direwolf killed a knight at the crag whom Jeyene had known for years. After negotiations, Walder Frey agrees to ally again with the Starks in return for the marriage of Robb's uncle, Lord Edrick Turley, to Rosalind Frey, and a personal apology from Robb. Jeyene and most of her family remain at River Run under the protection of Sir Brynden Tully to avoid extra between Lord Frey and her husband. Jeyene rides an hour north of Tumblestone in an attempt to accompany Robb, and he sends her back to River Run. Outside of the wedding of Edmure and Rosalind at the twins, Arya is puzzled when she hears a feasting Northman cheer the young wolf and Queen Jeyene. Within the twins, Houses Frey and Bolton betray and kill Robb, beginning the Red Wedding. Sir Kevin Lannister later instructs King Tommen I Baratheon to pardon the Westerlings and grant the title of Lord of Castamere to Robb. A feast for crows. Jeyene goes in the morning to the chagrin of Sybil, who had been in secret negotiation with Lord Tywin Lannister. Unbeknownst to Jeyene, the daily potions given to her by her mother prevented pregnancy, while most of the River Lords submit to the Iron Throne. River Run remains under the control of Brynden and Blackhurst. The siege of River Run is settled peacefully by Sir Jeyene Lannister, who tasks Sir Borley Prester with returning Jeyene to her father back at the crag. To avoid tales that her dead husband Robb had given her a child, thus an heir to the north, Jeyene is to remain unmarried for 2 years and is given a strong escort of soldiers with secret instructions to kill her if there would be any attempt at escape during the travel from River Run to the crag. Before she leaves, Jeyene notices that Jeyene has ripped her finely made clothes in an act of mourning for Robb and rebellion at her mother, who took away the crown Robb gave to Jeyene. Family. Jeyene has 2 brothers, Reynold and Rolla, a younger sister, Olenah. Her elder brother, Reynold, was present at the Red Wedding, at which he freed Grey Wind, and tried to escape the Freys by jumping in the Green Fork. However, he is presumed dead. Her younger brother, Robb, served as Robb's squire. Jeyene and Olenah are to marry lords or heirs, as negotiated between their mother and Tywin Lannister. Quotes by Jeyene. I shall be a good and true wife to Robb, I swear, and as wise a queen as I can. Jeyene to Catelyn Stark. Sybil then says to Jeyene she would not give up the little crown the rebel gave her. When I tried to take it from her, the woeful child fought me. Jeyene responds, it was mine. He had no right. Robb had it made for me. I loved him. Sybil Spicer and Jeyene to Jeyene Lannister. Quotes about Jeyene. Jeyene is bright as well as beautiful, and kind as well. She has a gentle heart. Robb Stark to Catelyn Stark. Jeyene Westerling is her mother's daughter, and Robb Stark is his father's son. Tywin Lannister to Tyrion Lannister. As a side note, for this to actually play out correctly, it could be conceivable that Robb would have taken a second wife and sent Jeyene away to protect her from the threats that were made, and thus Robb and the other wife who is pregnant are killed during the Red Wedding. Edrick Storm. There were certainly many of Robert Baratheon's bastards to go around in the Song of Ice and Fire novels. Edrick Storm was one such by blow who lived first at Storm's End and later on Dragonstone, the land ruled by Stannis Baratheon. On television, the story of Edrick was folded into that of Gendry, since Arya's blacksmith buddy became the all-purpose Baratheon bastard. In the books, Edrick went through roughly the same ordeal that Gendry did on the series. He was tortured by the Red Witch Melisandre, who leeched him and used his blood to curse King Robb Stark, Joffrey Baratheon, and Balon Greyjoy. Like television's Gendry, Edrick was saved from being burned by the Red Witch, thanks to Sir Davos Seaworth, the Onion Knight. But to simplify things, Benioff and Weiss made Gendry and Edrick one. And in the world of the books, Edrick stands as a testament to the mighty libido of King Robert Baratheon. Edrick Storm is the bastard son of King Robert I Baratheon and Olenah Florent. Appearance and character. Edrick is a sturdily attractive youth with jet black hair and deep blue eyes. He resembles his father, King Robert I, and has the characteristic hair, eyes, jaw, and cheekbones of House Baratheon. Edrick also has the large ears common to House Storm. Edrick is charming and courteous, but also fierce and proud. In this manner, Davos Seaworth compares Edrick to both Robert and the king's brother, Renly. In history, Edrick was conceived by King Robert I Baratheon and Olenah on the wedding night of Lord Stannis Baratheon to Selyse Florent, Olenah's cousin, and the couple's wedding bed. Stannis saw this as an insult to his honor, so he sent Edrick to Storm's End to foster with the boy's other uncle, Renly Baratheon. As Olenah was a noblewoman, Edrick was acknowledged by his father. He was raised in relative comfort at Storm's End under the guardianship of Sir Courtenay Penrose, Renly's castellan, who is fond of the boy. Edrick was educated by maesters, castellans, and masters-at-arms. Edrick has been sent a gift from his father every year on his name day. These have included a pony, a sable cloak, and a child-sized warhammer similar to his father's weapon. Edrick would write to King's Landing to thank his father for the gifts. Upon receiving the letters, Robert would laugh and ask Varys what he had sent that year. Recent events. A Game of Thrones. After having discovered Gendry, Lord Edrick Stark thinks about all of King Robert I Baratheon's bastards, and he knows about Edrick included. A Clash of Kings. Stannis Baratheon intends to use Edric's appearance as proof that Queen Cersei Lannister's children were fathered by her brothers Jaime Lannister instead of King Robert. During the siege of Storm's End, after the death of Renly Baratheon, Stannis offers to let the garrison go free if Edrick is surrendered. Renly's castellan, Sir Courtenay Penrose, resists and fears what Stannis would do to Edrick, however. After Courtenay falls to his death, Stannis takes the castle and ships Edrick and Melisandre to Dragonstone. A Storm of Swords. Edrick spends time at Dragonstone with Stannis' daughter, Princess Shireen Baratheon, and her fool, Patchface. Maester Pylos leeches Edrick when the boy comes down with a chill. Edrick remains faithful to the faith of the Seven instead of converting to the worship of Rolmar. Melisandre pressures Stannis to burn Edrick, as she believes that sacrificing his royal blood would wake dragons from stone to help Stannis. Conversely, Sir Davos Seaworth pressures Stannis to spare him. Edrick is leeched and his blood is used in a ritual to curse the three rival kings, Joffrey Baratheon, Balon Greyjoy, and Robb Stark. Subsequently, Balon falls at Pike, Robb is killed in the Red Wedding, and Joffrey is poisoned at his royal wedding. Concerned that Stannis will burn Edrick, Davos, with the help of Pylos and a small group of King's men, has Edrick secretly shipped away to the cities aboard the map Penrose. The boy wants to give his farewells to Shireen of Stannis, but Davos, speaking as the hand of the king, insists there is no time. Davos appoints Andrew Estermon, Edric's cousin, to act as his guardian. Gerald Gower, Kristen of Tolly Hill, Lewis the Fishwife, and Omar Blackberry also accompany Edrick as his guards and protectors. Davos defends his actions to a tired Stannis and a disappointed Melisandre, and the king sails north to aid the Night's Watch. A Feast for Crows. Edric sails across the narrow sea, past the set zones, to Essos on the Mad Pedros with Andrew and other protectors. A dance with dragons. Edric is in hiding in Lys with his guardian and protectors. Quotes by Edric. I won't go pray to the Lord of Light. I am a warrior's man, like my father. Edric to Piper. Andrew to Edric. I shall go with you, cousin. There's nothing to be frightened of. Edric responds, I am not frightened. Andrew Esteban and Edric. Davos to Edric. You are Robert's son, so I know you will be brave, no matter what happens. Edric responds, I will, only, Davos says, think of this as an adventure, my lord. It's the start of your life's great adventure. May the warrior defend you. Edric then responds, may the Father judge you justly, Lord Davos. Davos Seaworth and Edric. Quotes about Edric. Edrick Storm, they call him. He is said to be the very image of my brother. If men were to see him, and then look again at Joffrey and Tommen, they could not help but wonder, I would think, Stannis Baratheon to Davos Seaworth. Is the boy charming? He has that gift. He got it from his father with the blood. He knows he is a king's son, but chooses to forget that he is a bastard born. Stannis Baratheon to Davos Seaworth. Penrose chose to die rather than give him up. It still angers me. How could he think I would hurt the boy? I chose Robert, did I not? When that hard day came, I chose blood over honor. Stannis Baratheon to Davos Seaworth. The Lord of Light cherishes the innocent. There is no sacrifice more precious. From his king's blood and his untainted fire, a dragon shall be born. Melisandre to Stannis Baratheon. Davos says to Stannis, his name is Edrick Storm, sire. Stannis responds, I know his name. Was there ever a name so apt? It proclaims his bastardy, his high birth, and the turmoil he brings with him. Edrick Storm. There, I have said it. Are you satisfied, my lord? Him. Davos says, Edric. Stannis says, his one boy. He may be the best boy who ever drew breath, and it would not matter. My duty is to the realm. Davos Seaworth and Stannis Baratheon. If Stannis is Azor Ahai, come again. Does that mean Edric Storm must play the part of Nissa? Davos Seaworth's thoughts. Davos says to Melisandre, I am speaking of a boy, your daughter's friend, your brother's son. Melisandre responds, a king's son, with the power of king's blood in his veins. Do you think you saved this boy, Onion Knight? When the long night falls, Edric Storm shall die, with the rest, wherever he is hidden. Your own sons as well. Darkness and cold will cover the earth. You meddle in matters you do not understand. Davos Seaworth to Stannis Baratheon and Melisandre. As a side note, because it is proven in the original Game of Thrones series that the sons of Davos Seaworth had died, this probably would be the appropriate time when Gendry comes about, because when he comes about, his Davos Seaworth sons are already killed. So therefore Edric Storm had been around before his sons had died.